Let's talk about adult children. Adult children, it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not really. They're still our children. They're our children for the rest of our lives. But what we have to remember is that they're adults and that they're separate and that they're living their own lives. Training them and training ourselves to be separate from them starts in their young teenage years, when we start to give them more independence and letting them get hurt and knowing that you're there. Remember, I always recommend that when you're training a child to be an adult, be there for them when they come home from the world with a cup of tea or a cup of hot chocolate, and let them know that that's the routine that's going to happen when they walk in the door, right? So this is not something all of a sudden they're an adult and you haven't had this interaction and practice going on how to process. You've taught them how to emotionally regulate themselves in the world, how to intellectually regulate themselves in the world, how to financially regulate themselves in the world. This is the stuff you taught them when they were teenagers. And now they're out there, right? And now they're adults. There's a couple type of adult children. One is the adult child that lives at home. So for that one, I say don't do it. Don't do it. Unless your child is not on drugs and is not a drag on society. For example, if you have an adult child who has a job, they're coming home, and the reason that they're staying with you is because they're giving you money every month, and let's say you're making pretend that it's the mortgage or the rent and the bills, and you're taking that for them and you're putting it aside so that they'll have a little nest egg to move in, and you have a goal with that child that you'll be doing this with them for 2 years, and off they go in 2 years. Okay, there's a plan and there's a launching and there's a successful, and you're still helping them. That's the child that's not exactly ready to launch into adulthood whenever society says they're ready, which is usually between 18 and 21 years old. Okay, so now you have an adult child who's not married, and not living at home. Adult child that's not married and not living at home, you do want to check in. You want to check in regularly, once a day. Just 3-minute phone calls. Make sure how you doing, everything's okay. You know, at the end of the day, let's have our cup of coffee again together. Let's have our cup of tea again together. Just while they're getting their training wheels into being their new adults. And then that can switch to morning coffees. It could switch to once a week as they start to find their independence. But don't just throw them out there. The adult child who gets married, which is a beautiful thing, back off. Arrange with the child. Say, listen, I want to keep in touch with you. I love you so much. Make sure that you know that the person, and now you say to them, listen, now the person that you're going to have your coffee with every day and go over your day with every day, your tea with every day, morning coffee, night tea, is going to be your spouse. Don't end your day without it. Don't start your day without it. And you've trained them how to do this, right? But you've now switched the scenario so that it's not you anymore. Now it's them. But once a week, call me. If you want to call me more than that, please do. I love you so much. And you have to make sure the boundary's firm, that they don't complain to you about their spouse, that they don't complain to you about their marriage. But if you say, wait, if you have a problem, I have a couple marriage counselors I can suggest. Maybe your friends have a couple marriage counselors that they can suggest. Maybe just a life coach. You're no longer their coach. You're no longer their everything. Their husband or their wife is their everything. And now you have to make sure that you don't jump in the middle, because they make up, the wrong thing came out of your mouth, you're not even in the middle anymore. You're like out on the street, right? There are going to be times when they'll buck you when they're adult children. It might not happen often, and it might never happen to you, and I hope it doesn't. But there might be a time when they really have to let go of you. And the only way that they know to do this is to move to the other side of the world, or to say, I need a break from you, I need time from you, I'm not, or not even to say it and just they don't call. Okay, let them. Let them. They're finding their independence. If you didn't do your job in teaching them how to emotionally regulate relationships, then this is what's going to happen. If you did your job, and hey, you know what? It's not an easy job to do. I made a lot of mistakes when I was raising my kids, and that's why I do these Bubbie Pins. So that if I can help you to not make the same mistakes I made, maybe it'll make your life a little bit easier, a little less weight over here to carry. They're going to have some hard times in their adult life. It's their times, not yours. Let them go through it. Because just like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, if you help a butterfly come out of the cocoon, they're going to die instantly. What makes them strong, that butterfly, is building and knocking that cocoon away. That builds all the muscles in their wings. You help them, they can't fly. So do your job right when they're teenagers. Teach them their social skills. Teach them how to emotionally regulate, intellectually regulate. That's not easy to say. Have your tea with them at the end of the day. And then when they're adults, let them go. Let them fly. Oh, they'll come back with lots of love. With lots of love. With lots of respect and lots of questions. You can answer some questions. The big ones, start to refer them out. That's your Bubbie Pin for today. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I got more Bubbie Pins every day. Catch you tomorrow.